guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortiwada. In this video, we will learn how to test our property bindings in Angular. Before going to test the property binding in Angular, let's understand what is property binding and how can we achieve the property binding in Angular. Let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. Here, I have created a project with the name Demo1 by using Angular CLI, and it gave us the default application setup with one of the component called as app component. Before going to property binding, please try to understand interpolation. If you want more details about interpolation and what are the different types of bindings we have, please watch my previous videos. Here, let me go into app component.html. Let me create some form. I have a div, and inside this div, I have some input property and which is having some type as text and placeholder as enter username, and also I have different properties like read only. So before going to read only, let's understand how read only works. Okay, so read only is a property which will take a boolean value, and whenever we use a read only directive on an input field, then that input field cannot be edited. So that is the read only property. So this is a static HTML which we have written in our app.component.html, and let's see how it will be shown on your UI. Let me hit ngserve, hit enter. To understand more about how ngserve works, I have created one video in this tutorial. Please check ngserve behind the scene. Yeah, now it was successfully compiled. Let me go into the browser, localhost 4200, hit enter. So if you see here, it has an input field with non-editable. If I am typing also, it is not editable, or I am unable to type inside the input field. So let me go back and remove this read-only property for now. Save this and go back. You can edit this. Okay. Now, let me consider if we want these properties or the values of these properties should come from our controller. Let me go to the controller and let me create one variable like input type equal to text and input placeholder equal to enter your name. And now I want to bind these variables with these elements. So we can use interpolation for binding the element. As we saw in the previous video, we can use interpolation for binding these elements. So let me use placeholder here in the placeholder, and let me use input type inside this type. Save this and let me go back to the browser. You see here I can able to type the text as well as it is having a placeholder enter your name. Let me go back. Now what I'll do is I can change this text into password and save this. So now this field will be acting as a password. So you can see here it is acting like a password. So that is how we can dynamically change our behavior of a HTML content. We are using interpolation and everything goes well. Let me create input read only equal to true. So let me use this read only inside our read only property of an input field. Let me create read only equal to, let me give interpolation, and I'm giving input read only as a binding. Save this as well as yes. As per our understanding, this is true. When the read only is true, could I able to edit the form? No, we cannot edit this HTML. Let me check that. I'm not able to edit this content. Super. Now let me go back and go to the component.ts. Let me change into false. So as per our assumption, input read only equal to false. That means the value false is passed to the read only. The input field is editable. Let me go back and try to type here. But even though I am not able to edit, why? What's happening behind the scene? Remember, interpolation will always converts all the data or all the expression which was mentioned inside the flower bases into a string. So whenever I pass some value called as input read only as false, So false will be executed inside the flower bases, and when the value comes out of that flower base, it's a string value. Read only property which accepts a boolean value, but interpolation is converting our true value or false value into string value. So what that HTML will do, it will ignore the value as it is passed as true, and it will take the default value of read only. What is the default value of read only? It is true. By default, every property of HTML will have a default value. So like the same way, we have read only as true. So how to resolve this now? When I pass the string, it is working as expected, but when I pass boolean value, it is not working as expected. So that's how a property binding came in. Whenever you want to use boolean values over the properties, then it is always preferred or recommended to use property binding. How to use property binding? A property should be enclosed between an array symbol, and no need to use interpolation. Let me remove this and now save this. If you see here, input read only is false. That means I'm passing false to the read only, so it should be editable. Let me go back and you can see it is editable. So now it is working as expected. Let me go back and change it to true and save this. Go back and type something. I'm not able to type because it is working as expected. Now the read only is true. Now our question is, what is the difference between an interpolation and the property binding? Both are one-way data binding, but the only difference is whenever it starts executing a statement, the return value of that interpolation will always be a string. Whenever you want to have a type also inside the properties of any HTML element, then always go with property binding. Now I can even replace this interpolation with property binding. This one property binding, I can remove this flower bases, save this, and it behaves the same. Let me go back and read only, let me change into false so that I can edit that, and go back, I can edit here. So this is how our property binding works. In how many ways I can use property binding? Okay, so now let me create some variables like a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. So I can write even the condition statements for my property binding. For example, if a is greater than b, then it will return true or false. So based on the true or false, our read only property will work. Now a is 10, b is 20. 10 is greater than 20, false. So now read only is false. I should be able to edit the data. I'm able to edit the content. Let me go back and now let me change the values, give 30, and let me pass as text, and let me pass this as enter your name with property binding. Save this, go back, you can see here, enter the name with property binding. So now I'm not able to edit the content because a value is 30 and b value is 20. 30 is greater than 20. So it is true. My read only is true. So you can perform your conditional operations on the read only properties also by using property binding. Let me create one input field with type equal to get type. There is a method called as get type. Copy this method, go to the TS. Let me write some method get type, and this will return my this dot input type. Save. Let me go here, save, and now it will create one more input field. Now the type will be equal to the type passed here, text. So even we can call some methods which will return some value which is accepted by your property binding, and it will change the behavior of the HTML element. Go back, check here. I'm able to type the text, and let me change this to number. Save this. If you see here, we got stepper. That means I'm typing on ABCD, it is not working. When I type on 1 2 3 4, it's working. So my input field property is a number. So now many people have a question, when to use what? I recommend to use interpolation whenever we are using a dynamic content between the tags. That means open and closing tag. Whenever you are using a properties, the binding should be happened over the properties. Then it is always recommended to use property binding. How property binding will behave? Property binding will even check the value along with the type. It's like triple equal to. Whereas interpolation, whatever the content, whatever the statement you are executing inside the interpolation, it will be executing as expected, but at last the return value of the interpolation will always be a string. That can be understandable by using read-only property. Here we have created our property bindings of two input elements, and each input element is configured with our property binding. So I want to test this particular data by covering all the use cases. Let me quickly jump into spec.ts. So here let us create a fixture for our app component. This is the default one which is created whenever our application is creating some component. So before it is a method which will be called before executing every it statement. So let me create two variables. Let fixture, which is of type component fixture, which is given by Angular, and it will take one template as a parameter, app component. And let me create one more thing called as component instance. So this will be equivalent to our app component type. And every time before executing each and every it statement, let us create a fixture as well as component instance. So fixture equal to test bed. So we have a class called as test bed dot create component of, what is the component? App component. Let me create the fixture. My fixture is created. By using the fixture, we can create our component instance. Component instance is equal to fixture dot component instance. So this creates our component instance, and we can access all the variables and the methods which has been declared in our app component. So let me create one it statement. What I want to test in this it indicates one scenario or the use case of a test case. Now let me create one test case which will test our default values for our input field. So check input default property bindings, and it will take a callback. In this callback, we will try to fetch the elements from our HTML. So let me create one ID for my input field. ID is equal to input field is my ID. Save this, and let me go to spec file. Here, let me fetch that element first. So let me use const element equal to, we can get using by fixture dot debug element dot native element dot query selector. It takes one parameter, any one of the selector. For now I am passing ID selector, so hash prefixed with hash and the name of the ID, pass this. So this will give our element. After getting the element, let me detect the changes. Detect changes. So this will detect the changes and pass the content from our controller to our HTML so that our UI will be updated. So to know when that UI is updated, we can use fixture dot when stable. This is a promise, and that has a callback dot then, which is a resolved state. And in this resolved state, it takes a callback function. In this callback function, we can test the element properties. So expect of element dot, it's a type, so we are not getting an IntelliSense, so we can give the type for this element. Let me give HTML input element, and now dot to equal of, what is that? Number. So component instance dot, you have this input type, right? So we are getting the type and we are checking with the input type. This type is from HTML element, this input type is from component. So what is the input type we are getting here? It's a number, so it should be equivalent to the number as a string. So let me check one more thing. Element dot placeholder. What should be the placeholder? It should be equal to our component instance dot placeholder, input placeholder. Let me save this. And one more scenario we have, that is read only property. So whenever I want to check that read-only property, it is based on the condition A is greater than B. What is our expectation? A should be greater than B. Then it is read-only. A is 30, B is 20. So it is always true. That means the read-only is true. Let me check that. Expect of element dot read-only dot to be truthy. So for checking true statements, we can use to be truthy. So we have used to be truthy and save this. Let me run this by using ng-test. Once you run the application, it is showing all the test cases has been successfully executed. So let me go to the browser and go to Karma tab. You can see here spec has no exception, check input default property bindings. So this has no exceptions and this is checking our check input default property binding. So let me use one more test case. What I want to do is I want to change the values and test it accordingly. Change property binding values and check the element properties. So it is also having a callback. In this callback, we can use or we can pass the data component instance dot input type. Let me pass this input type as text. So I am changing the input type number to text, and also I am changing component instance dot placeholder value. That should be equal to my updated placeholder semicolon. So my placeholder value should be updated placeholder. And also we have something called as component instance dot a value, let me give it as 10. Component instance dot b value, let me give it as 20. So my condition 10 greater than 20 is false. This time the read-only property should be falsy. So let me update the fixture, detect changes of. Now it will be detect the changes, but it's an asynchronous call. So we have to check after updating the UI. To check after updating the UI, we can use fixture dot when stable. This is a promise. So we have a callback dot then, and it takes a resolver. Inside the resolver, we can get the element const element, which is of HTML input element equal to fixture dot debug element dot native element dot query selector. I'm getting the selector value, that is an ID. So I have to use hash. And what is my ID? Go to the HTML. We can get this ID and paste here. So I got my element. Now our expectation is expect of element dot type. You can see now you are getting an intelligence whenever you are giving a type for that element. Dot to equal of what it should be equal to. It should be equal to my text because it has been updated. And expect element dot placeholder should be equal to the updated placeholder. That means this particular string. Let me copy this and paste here. And expect of element dot read only. This time it should be falsy. Why? Because a value is 10, b value is 20, but our condition is if a is greater than b, then only read only will be true. Now a is 10, b is 20. It is not greater, it is false. That means the read only is false. So to be falsy. Save this. You can see here our total test case has been successfully completed. Now I have completed my testing over the input element, that is my input field element. Now you can even get the type or get the property binding using a function or a method. So for example, here you have a function called as get type. What this get type is doing, it is giving the input type. That means the type of this input field will depend on this input type. So let's test that. Let me create one more ID called as input method. So this is my ID. Let me get this ID and test this particular input field. Let me go to spec file, and here let me write one more it statement. Check for method access using property binding. Now we are checking the method access using the property binding, and it has a callback function. Inside the callback function, let me change the values of input type. Component instance dot input type equal to email. I want to detect these changes. Fixture dot detect changes, and after detecting the changes, when the fixture is stable, then that means it is a promise, and you can use a then function. It has a callback function that is a resolve state. Once this is resolved successfully, let me get that element. It is also an HTML input element, so pass that input element. Fixture dot debug element dot native element dot query selector of what is my id. The id is input method, so it should be prefixed with hash, and pass the input method, semicolon. What is our expectation? Expect of element dot type should be equal to, that means to equal of, what is the return type of that particular method inside this get type. So what is the return value of that get type? It should be an input type. What is my input type? It is an email, so it should be equivalent to my email. Let me copy this, paste here, save this, save. And now our three test cases has been successfully qualified. Now we can even check one more thing called as expect of element dot type will always be equal to equal of component instance dot get type. So whatever the get type is returning, that we should be inside your HTML type property. Let me save this. Now you can see the three test cases has been passed. So this is how we will be testing our property binding. We can change any values, and we can pass any values to our properties, and we can check them as expected. So this is how we need to test our property binding. If you want to know about interpolation and the type of interpolation testing, please watch my previous video for interpolation testing. In the next upcoming videos, we will see some more testings on different Angular concepts. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off.